Hey guys, Cyber. Relax! I was just gonna get there. Anyway, as this little buddy was saying, 80% of you aren't subscribed to the channel, so hit that subscribe button. It really helps. Hey, what Pokemon are you?
Believe it or not, one of the strongest Pokemon during Generation 2, otherwise known as the Neo era of the Pokemon trading card game, was a baby Pokemon. That's right, Cleffa, the 26th weakest Pokemon in terms of base stats in the video games, was one of the most useful Pokemon of the time. But why? Well, the card is just the sheer incarnation of utility, 3 utilities to be precise. Firstly, the attack 1 colorless energy for Eek. Allows for a player to shuffle their hand into their deck and draw a new hand of 7 cards. This gives any deck an extra consistency boost for some great early game setup, shuffling back an exhausted hand for new cards in order for any strategy to accelerate into their win condition, whether it be Riptide for Alligator and the search for evolutions like Procking Off for the next turn, Slowkings in order to bring your opponent's trainer cards to a near stop, brand new Darkness and Metal type decks trying to find their type-specific 4 of special energy, and many others. Working in tandem with the newly released Professor Elm card, containing the same effect as Cleffa's Eek on a trainer card, decks could easily turbo out a board of Pokemon for both utility and attacking, making Stage 1 and 2 decks viable for play throughout the Neo era, such as Dark Gengar, Fire Recharge Typhlosion, Steelix, Kingdra, Crobat, Light Piloswine, Erica's Victory Bell, and many more. Secondly, this card has free retreat, making it an easy pivot off of a knockout, or just an easy retreat into a threatening attacker after a turn or 2 of setting up with Eek. Lastly, and most importantly however, is the baby rule. This rule states that if a baby Pokemon is in the active spot and your opponent tries to attack, they have to flip a coin before doing anything else required to use the attack, such as energy discard, and if tails, it does nothing. Having a 50% chance to blank an attack is quite absurd at this point, especially when paired with many other cards seen in Neo Genesis alone. Focus Band was a Pokemon tool that allowed for a Pokemon to hang on with 10 HP if they were to get KO'd, boosting your chances of blanking a KO to 75%. There also wasn't a reliable form of gusting in this format, as the modified Rocket On format that had rotated the original Gust of Wind replaced it with the situationally inferior Double Gust. Getting back to Cleffa, this card also had a 4th utility. Though not printed on the card itself, the sheer existence of Cleffa's Eek attack gave players a strong defense against the uber-popular hand destruction cards like Imposter Oak's Revenge, Rocket Sneak Attack, and the Rocket's Trap, giving you chances of getting out of that situation with a single energy card. Though the solution wasn't perfect, as Cleffa still had a 50-50 shot on being knocked out on your opponent's turn, as this was during a time when attacking was legal on turn 1 of the game, plus they could go first and just completely loop your whole hand, so sometimes you just weren't going to be able to evade that situation. Oddly enough though, players of the time weren't privy to the idea of utility Pokemon, as very few outside of Dodrio and Kangaskhan from the Jungle expansion had abilities and attacks worthy of using outside of your main game plan and win condition, usually with decks relying on uber-powerful trainer cards like Professor Oak, Bill, Computer Search, Misty's Wrath, and plenty of others to search out the required combo pieces. You could see this in the 2001 California Super Trainer Showdown, with the winning Riptide for Alligator list piloted by Eric Brooks in the 13 to 14 age division having 0 Cleffa, and the runner-up Aaron Gerardo only using 2 of them. This quickly changed though, as the follow-up in New Jersey saw no recorded players playing less than 3 copies in their deck among the top 8 across all age divisions. Cleffa survived into the Neo-On format of 2002, going right alongside Professor Elm, but with the addition of a new supporter card in Copycat, a great countercard to opposing Cleffas in order to refresh your own hand without the Professor Elm downside of not being able to activate trainer cards for the rest of the turn. Player sentiment at the time quickly grew into being easily summarized into one sentence though. Either you play 4 of it, or your excuse better be you don't own that many Cleffa. Sadly, this Cleffa would be rotated along with its Neo contemporary starting on October 1st, 2003, in the wake of the E-Series Onward rotation, but the impact that this card had on the Pokemon trading card game is never truly left. Many newer Cleffa have been printed with slightly different effects, such as EX Hidden Forces' Cleffa having the same attack, only with 1 less card drawn, to the copy from Heart Gold and Soul Silver, doing the same but instead putting Cleffa to sleep, while having a Pokebody that allowed for it to be immune from damage while asleep, essentially providing the same 50-50 protection that the original had. However, Cleffa's legacy wasn't only seen on Cleffa. From Delcatty in the EX Ruby and Sapphire expansion, set up Uxie and Dominant Pearl, Shaman EX during the XY block, all the way to Crobat V in the semi-recent Sword and Shield Darkness Ablaze set, the effect of drawing cards through utility Pokemon has remained a meta staple and likely will for years to come.